I swear to God I'm a Muslim, and after this debate, I feel truly lost.
Whoa.
Oh, man.
What does Furqan mean? What does Furqan mean?
Furqan means criterion.
Okay, so what does it mean?
A standard of truth that tells you what's right and what's wrong.
That's what they're laughing at. Oh my goodness! I already know how they're about to get cooked. I backed it up, guys, because this is bad.
You know
But
what
it shows you he didn't know this.
Yeah.
He had no idea about this.
He doesn't know what he's talking about, and he's
No clue. He just walked into that thinking he won something.
The joy.
We're laughing at.
I get. I'm gonna let you know. I get the same skill set on my everyday Monday, Wednesday, Friday stream. You're no different than the everyday Muslim.
What does Furqan mean? What does Furqan mean?
Furqan means criterion.
Okay, so what does it mean?
A standard of truth that tells you what's right and what's wrong.
They are so cooked. Look, they're laughing, but Avery's laughing because he knows how cooked they are and how stupid they are and how oh my goodness, guys, I can't believe it. Avery's overjoyed that this is bad.
He's looking over at life. He's looking over at life, and he's like, are they
laughing about this? Do they not know what trouble they're in right now? Okay, here we go.
Guess what? The Quran says the Torah is Al-Furqan. It says the Torah is Al-Furqan. Chapter 21, verse 48. The Torah is the Furqan, Muhammad.
I can't even hear what you're saying. I can't hear it. Tell me something else.
I just said that according to your Quran, the Torah is Al-Furqan.
Guys, think. I mean, this is like shocking. And he said, give me something else. Give me something else. He wants to move on, right? So he says, bring something up. Avery goes to 1094. Hijab gets crushed. So what does he do? Oh, let's go to 548. I'll bring that up. That's going to help me. Avery crushes him on that. Then Hijab's bringing up commentators. Avery brings up what the commentator said about that. Hijab has no clue, and it calls Avery a liar for telling the truth. And then Hijab, what about Furqan? Oh, you admit that? And Avery cooks him on that too. These are the things. Now you're dealing. Hijab's the one bringing these up. Hijab's bringing them up. These are Hijab's points, and Avery is destroying him on every point that Hijab brings up.
Knock it out of the park.
You got to study Hijab. Look, man, not going to speaker's quarter anymore, running and hiding all this time. You're not ready, man. You ain't ready. You ain't ready. You ain't ready.
Too expensive.
In chapter 21, verse 48, and in chapter 2, verse 53, the Torah is Al-Furqan.
Hijab doesn't know what to say. Look at
he just got humbled, and guess what? He's about to concede. He's about to concede.
Wait. You know that bit there where he's going, someone should take that, it's like grayscale it, and then play
before and after.
Smiles for him.
And zoom in on Hijab, and that was the moment he knew he'd messed up.
Yeah.
So what do you got to say about that? The Torah is the Quran.
Is the Quran Furqan or not?
Yeah, so is the Torah. So is the Torah. Yes, so is the Torah.
Furqan in its own right. By the way,
so is the Torah, correct?
No, hold on.
Wait, is that correct that the Torah is also Furqan?
Wait, chapter 25, Surah Furqan, yeah? It doesn't say the Torah is Furqan.
I just said chapter 21, verse 48. It says that we gave Moses and Aaron the scripture and the criterion. That's the Torah, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Thank you. I know it's true. You're getting taught.
Hold on.
That's true.
They say W concession. That's what they say on TikTok. W concession. That's crazy.
Hold on. Calm down.
Oh, you waking me up?
What was given to Aaron and wait, hold on. So what was given to Aaron was a Furqan, right?
Say that again.
Are you looking at me or what?
Yeah, just
what was given to Aaron and what was given
I need to
to
get dressed for the occasion. I'm getting my shirt's getting messy. Hold on.
So, is what was given to Aaron? Are you okay? What's this guy doing? Get out of here. You want to throw the towel? You want to throw the
Do you hear this? You want to throw in the towel? What level of stupid do you have to be if you're a Mohammed Hijab follower to think, oh, yeah,
the arrogance. He's so puffed up. All that lead up on all pumping his chest, beating his chest, all that lead up, he just got popped like a bubble, boom, burst like a bubble. That's great.
He acts like a complete fool, and then the moment that Avery does something like gets up, puts his chef outfit on, he's like, what is this guy doing? As if he hasn't just been acting like a fool this entire time. He keeps jumping from acting like a fool to acting really serious when he talks about the other person. I love that. It's such a funny like contrast. It's like he'll laugh like manically, like a drunk maniac, and then he'll be like, "Why is this person leaving the chair?" Like, it's like, what are you doing, bro? Which one are you?
Yeah, this is guys. I mean,
you guys know what he got, right? You know what he got, right?
When this happened, like I saw Muslims bragging, but I also see people texting around, GodLogic is destroying Mohammed Hijab. And so I'm thinking, GodLogic's GodLogic's obviously going to be winning. I didn't know it was like this
It's
much
like
of a
this.
massacre. I mean, every single point, hijab is getting massacred.
Yep.
Let's see.
Towel, boy. You want to throw the towel? Oh, come on.
I just need to dress.
Yeah, this is. It works,
I need to dress for the occasion.
Sit down.
I need to dress for the occasion.
Yeah, he needs to do this. He needs to do this, doesn't he?
He's getting agitated.
He's getting agitated.
Occasion, man.
Okay.
They said he's getting agitated.
I need
All
to
right.
dress
So
for
now here's the question. Here's the question too.
The best stew I've ever made.
Are we done with your logic? Are we done with your
Did he just say this is the best stew I've ever made?
dilemma? The Quran says that it's
Okay,
a
right here,
Muhaymin,
guys.
which
Get
means it's a
agitated.
guardian, and it sieves out, it filters, it's a filter for the truth.
Oh, now it's a
Guardian.
guardian.
Oh boy. Oh, you are in so much trouble, Hijab. Dude, Hijab, I made an entire video exposing you on this. If like you're about to get annihilated on this because you didn't pay attention to the refutation. This is terrible,
No, he
dude.
did
This is
not.
terrible. This is terrible. You are in so much trouble right now.
Oh, hold on. Well, Muhayminan alayh. How do you explain that, please?
Oh,
How do you
hold
explain
on.
the concept of
Before you do the Muslim shuffle, the hijab two-step, first you need to deal with your
explain
argument.
that the Quran says
hold on.
Muhaymin? If
You
know what
said-
the word means.
Cameraman, stop. Stop.
Yeah,
I guess it's too late
dude.
now, but dude, stop. It's embarrassingly terrible. If you want to do anything, use two cameras, have one close up of hijab and one wider shot and stuff like that, and then just switch or something like that. But this, in and adjusting and back out, it's distracting, man. It's distracting. Hijab, fire your cameraman.
Sure.
How do you explain
The
it? How do you explain
Quran.
it?
So it depends on your
Why you running?
interpretation, because you have some
Why you
interpreters that interpreted that Muhaymin, that it was Muhammad who was a Muhaymin over the Quran. And so then, if you're going to be consistent, then you're going to have to say that Muhammad is an authority or corrector over the words of Allah.
That's not
Is
what
that the
anyone
position
said.
you're going to hold?
No. One more.
That's not
No,
what
what anyone
anyone
says.
says.
Anyone said.
So Mujahid, he just takfired Mujahid. Apparently, none of the early Muslim commentators, as in zero, would have taken it remotely seriously that Muhaymin meant corrector. You can't do that. Or the early Muslims who thought that Muhammad is the Muhaymin over the Quran, they would have thought that Muhammad is a higher authority than the Quran itself, than the speech of Allah. Anyway, this is stupid. Hey, Hijab, I told you all this, dude. I told you all this. You might want to watch the responses so you don't get embarrassed in front of what's going to be millions of people. Millions of people are going to watch this, dude. Millions of people are going to watch you get embarrassed.
By the way, so just I think you play like another second. He's about to call him a liar, and then I want to just share the sources that you just referenced. I have them ready, but I think he's like another second. He calls him a liar or something.
Oops, how far did I go back? I don't remember exactly where I was. Let's see.
That's not what
that the
anyone
position
said.
you're gonna hold?
No. Well, Muhayminan alayhi. The Quran is the Muhaymin. Wait, hold on. The Quran is al-Muhaymin. It's called al-Muhaymin.
Would you like to see
Muhaymin
interpreters that
alayhi.
say otherwise?
Do I need to go back further than that? Let's see.
No, you're good. I was just saying the
Alright,
Quran
so
is not
it
called
depends on your
al-Muhaymin.
interpretation.
Allah in chapter 15, was it 59:23? Allah is the one. Yeah, 59:23. Allah is the one who called al-Muhaymin. So I don't know why he said that. That's the title for the Quran. It's not. But anyway, yeah, he's about to say it right now though.
I backed
Because
up
you
more.
have some interpreters that interpreted that Muhaymin, that it was Muhammad who was a Muhaymin over the Quran.
Is Avery correct?
100%.
100%. Chris, is Avery correct?
Oh, yes, he is.
100%. And Hijab says he's wrong. And what's amazing is he's making fun of Avery for not knowing the commentators, and Mohammed Hijab seems to have no clue about this, even though I literally told him.
See, look, you're having to lie now. This is quite.
Do you want me to show you? Can I share my screen?
He just called him a liar, guys. He just called him a liar for knowing more than Hijab does. He knows
crazy.
Avery knows more than Mohammed Hijab does, and he just called him a liar for it.
Oh, wow.
He set himself up for failure by chest thumping. And
He totally
degrading
did. He
Avery.
totally did. And but
That-
And then
whole
Avery's like,
thing-
I actually know more than you.
That whole thing, like he lost it there. That's why I said that was divine providence. But this is not even this is the great part. But this is not even the best part. The best part is about to come up after this. But I just want to show this source. If you want to
think I know
just,
what it
we can give it to people, just so they can have it,
source?
screenshot it. But like David said, he's got the reference for this.
You want this up
all
now?
the stuff is in his all the stuff is in his video. I just wanted to give you guys this as a reference as well. So this is in Ibn Kathir. Ibn Kathir for chapter 5, verse 48. You see all of these names. You have Ikramah, Sa'id bin Jubair, etc., Mujahid. They said, right? So it's plural. So all of these said, they said, regarding the phrase, and it gives it in Arabic.
that's what
Muhaymin
Hijab
Ali.
kept quoting.
Yeah. And it was guarded over that it means Muhammad is a trustee over the Quran.
Liar!
He's the
Ibn
one.
Kathir is lying! Ibn Kathir is lying! This cannot
Now-
be true.
Muhammad
No
Hijab
one
is
says
Ibn
this.
Kathir's teacher. He's his
So,
teacher.
so Muhammad, he's the Muhaymin over the Quran, and look what Ibn Kathir says. This is correct in meaning. So he says this is not. I don't agree. This is the verse is teaching, but the meaning is correct. So is it true that according to even Ibn Kathir that Muhammad is Muhaymin over the Quran, that he's the trustee over the Quran? That's how they understand it as the trustee. That's what Ibn Kathir says. That's what Mujahid says. That's correct in meaning. So Mujahid takes that from the verse and he says that's what the verse is saying because he has a variant reading for it, it's an A vowel instead of an I vowel, and it just kind of changes it into being active or passive. Not in this sense, but this is the correct in meaning according to Ibn Kathir, but that's not, he says, but I disagree, that's what the verse is teaching. However, it's correct in meaning. What's correct in meaning? That Muhammad is Muhaymin over the Quran. Furthermore, if you go to Az-Zamakhshari, which David noted before, he says that the guardian, the Muhaymin, is Allah. So it's Allah to the Quran, not the Quran to the previous books.
So Allah is correcting his errors in the Quran.
Exactly.
So that must have mean, if Allah's correcting the errors, that must have mean he put the errors in there, or that the Quran was corrupted and he had to come and correct it later.
Exactly.
Which is it? If it means, and guys, this is insane. Avery says something that is 100% true. And Hijab will mock him for not knowing the sources. Avery knows the sources. Hijab doesn't. He doesn't know. He didn't bother to read Ibn Kathir on this verse that he keeps bringing up. He didn't bother to read like the first commentary you would expect him to go to, and he doesn't even know that. And he's saying that Avery's wrong.
Exactly.
What a dope, man.
So, and then you go to Tafsir al-Baghawi, and this is a fourth view. Hassan said that the book, the Quran, is Muhaymin to our prophet, meaning to Muhammad. So the Quran is correcting or filtering Muhammad according to this view, right? So if we just kind of give all the views here, just as kind of the mainstream view, and then all of these other views here. Which, by the way, I say this is true to Mujahid, which it is, but Ibn Kathir says it's all of these people saying this, and he says it's correct in meaning. So just for shorthand, we'll say, Mujahid, but it's other people as well. So these are the four views. Avery was 100% correct. He wasn't lying. Mohammed Hijab was the one that lied. He was the liar. Or
he's just completely ignorant. Like he thinks he's telling the truth, but he has no clue what he's talking about.
No idea.
Yeah, so but here's an interesting little side note, right? Because what's really interesting about the word Muhaymin as far as the translation is, you go to one of their commentaries, it'll say, so-and-so said it meant this, so-and-so said it meant this, so-and-so said it meant this, so-and-so said it meant, and you'll have like 30, look at all these different definitions, right? So they said it means different things. It means witness, it means entrusted or faithful, it means confirmer, it means preserver, it means judge, it means guardian, it means guide. Look at what they do. So in response to dozens of crystal clear Quran verses affirming the inspiration, the preservation, and the authority of the previous scriptures, what do? They go to a verse where Muslim commentators can't even agree on what Muhaymin is referring to, who or what the Muhaymin is. They can't even agree on that. They can't agree on what this Muhaymin is the Muhaymin over, and they can't even agree on what the word means. And Muslims will go to this ambiguous as to what the Muhaymin even is, and as to what the word even means. They'll make up a meaning. They'll make up a meaning that completely contradicts everything else the Quran says about the previous scriptures. And they say, you see, that settles it. Case closed. Right? This is the opposite of how you're supposed to interpret a text. Right? If you have ambiguous verse, and that's like very ambiguous as far as different commentators saying it means different things, and different commentators giving different explanations of who or what the Muhaymin even is. And so they go to that verse, and they'll use that to throw out all the clear verses. They'll do eisegesis, insert the meaning, not in the Zut sense, but basically, they'll insert the meaning they want, and they'll use it to throw out every clear verse in the Quran. That's the opposite of how you interpret a text. You never sacrifice the clear for the sake of the unclear. You use the clear. You use clear verses to guide your interpretation of unclear or ambiguous verses. They do the exact opposite. Why? Because they have to. If they just went with what the clear verses say, and they use the clear verses to interpret the unclear verses, they'd be on their way out of Islam, because they would see the point of the Islamic dilemma.
And how many clear verses are there in comparison to this unclear verse, which I think they've made unclear? They've butchered this Quran verse desperately to try to get out of the Islamic dilemma. So they're basically saying all of our hopes, our entire theology on what the Quran fundamentally teaches about the previous scriptures is based on a single verse. And it's something we have to butcher to get there. And it's not found in our early scholars. So it's complete bid'ah, it's innovation, and all innovation.
Total bid'ah.
And we're going to just ignore all the Musaddiq confirm verses. We know there's 18 of them, and this is just one of the many things
By the way, that's one of the meanings of according to some of the scholars, they say that Musaddiq.
Yes.
That's one of the meanings of what Muhaymin even means.
So if you read Nikolai Sinai's critical dictionary on the Arabic language, which I suggest, oh, by the way, I talk about that in my book, The Islamic Dilemma. You can purchase it on Amazon as a paperback, hard copy, or a Kindle ebook. You should totally do that if you want to know more. But Nikolai Sinai says, the first explanation he gives for Muhaymin is that it's actually just synonymous with Musaddiq, because the verse in 548 says it's confirming, so Musaddiq, and it's a Muhaymin over. And because they occur in the same place, he says, it's just a synonym, basically. And even when pushed, because he's aware of the desperate need of Muslims to have this say something else, he says at most you can interpret this to be an authority, but an authority in what sense? I would say authority in the sense of like a boss that confirms his employees are doing a good job, right? Not as a boss that comes and says, right, I'm confirming you guys, but you're all terrible and you're doing a terrible job, because that to me is a contradiction. You can't say in the same verse, I'm confirming you and I'm correcting you. I'm going to say that's a contradiction.
You still want this up on the screen, Jay?
No, we're good. We're good.
Let's see. And someone invited himself in. And for the first time, it's not Isa. Isa's normally the one who invites himself in.
Thadius.
Tossed himself up.
Hey, well, you can blame Jai. He actually said you should pull an Isa and just show up uninvited. So.
Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. No one should be trying to be Isa. Isa, the only thing like Isa is
I'll
Isa.
just feel like
right?
Isa. Sit here not really say anything. Let you experts do all the talking. But I need to talk to you for unrelated reasons, David. So I'm here.
But yeah, so everyone needs to get a big picture of the methodology here, right? It's the same, and they have the same methodology whether it's the Quran or whether it's the Bible. Everything that they've heard all their lives from their dawah guys or scholars or imams or whatever, that becomes what they follow. And whether you're talking about the Bible or the Quran or the commentators, they have the same methodology. Just go through and find what agrees with what I was told during my life, and anything that doesn't, just skip over. Anything that doesn't agree with that, just skip over. So if they hear Muhammad's in the Bible, well, they'll go to a verse that gets twisted, that someone's told them is about Muhammad. Every other verse in the entire chapter can completely contradict Islam. They'll fixate on the one that they can twist into something about Muhammad, right? They ignore everything else. And they obviously ignore all the passages where Muhammad would be a false prophet by the standards of the Bible. And they'll say, and they'll cherry pick a verse and say, you see, this is the proof that Muhammad's a true prophet, right? So they'll do that with the Bible. The Quran, take a topic like the Islamic dilemma. Verse after verse after verse affirms our scriptures over and over and over again. And what do? They go to whatever one they can try to twist into something else. And then even with that verse, even with the verse they go to, 548, even with the verse they go to, you look up the word, it'll have 20 different meanings. None of them work. So they'll make one up, right? They'll just make up a meaning. And then the later commentators don't help them, right? You go to the commentators on 548, that does not help you, Mohammed Hijab. It doesn't help you, even though you're the one running your mouth about the commentators. So what would they do in that situation? They'd look through dozens of commentators until they find one that agrees, and then they'll say, you see, the commentators agree. It is the supreme religion of cherry picking. There is no other ideology anywhere ever in history that cherry picks to this level. The truth does not need this methodology, guys. The truth does not need you to go to a verse which the way you're using it would be one of the most ambiguous verses there are with what you're trying to do to it, and then use that to trump all the clear verses. That is like a terrible methodology. Everything is cherry picking. It's just absolutely pathetic. And then but if you just thump your chest and I'm destroying you, your fans are so stupid because of all the generations of first cousin marriage that they don't understand. They just pay attention to the fact that you're chest thumping, and so that's strong to them. So you must be winning. Hey guys, want to see something cool?
Yeah.
Want to see something cool? Here you go. I swear to God, I'm a Muslim, and after this debate, I feel truly lost.
Whoa.
Oh, man. We have an answer to that. You got to look more at the prophet Jesus, and look at who he really is, and look at what the early community, the disciples, the companions of Jesus said about him. And you'll learn who he truly is, and you'll realize who the true God is. And then you won't be so confused anymore.
Yeah, you're not alone. I've seen dozens and dozens and dozens of comments saying similar things, and that they were really unimpressed with how Mohammed Hijab performed. And so that's the first thing. You're not alone. So you feel truly lost. Well, as Chris said, there's the way home through the Lord Jesus Christ. Well, thanks for coming in here. I'm going to look up for his comments. I want to see if he's going to interact some more. But wow.
Yeah, and Waria,
that's something I've seen over and over on his comments. Maybe he's deleting them now. I don't know, but
yeah. And Waria, it may feel bad. It may feel bad seeing this and realizing people have been brainwashing you with a bunch of nonsense all your life and so on. But The positive side is you can recognize it. Lots of people cannot recognize it. They can't see it. They just side with their guy. They can't understand the arguments and they don't see the problem. You're seeing it. You're seeing it. So even though it may be uncomfortable, it's actually better than not having the ability anymore, like being so brainwashed that you lack the ability to understand what people are saying. You still got the ability, so that's good. That's good. That ability is given to you by God.
So continuing with the argument, because you said you never said this. You said you never said this. So I'm gonna make you say it again.
What's your question? What's your
I'm
question?
about to give it to you. I'm about to give it to you. I'm about to give it to you. I'm about to give it to you.
Go on. What's your question?
All right,
guys, look at that. Look at the comments they put on the screen. Avery got burnt. This is how they have to dupe people. Oh, look, there are comments. There are comments saying Avery got burnt, so he must be getting burnt. Anyone who knows anything or has a functioning brain cell should see what's going on here.
That's why they were begging in the comments, let this person up, let this person up. Mohammed Hijab, this is what Avery does. This is what he does. Let someone else up. And they're all begging and begging and begging to let the little pup up. And
what's Hijab going to do? He just started it. He just started this. I got a brilliant idea. I'll just go live and let people call in. How's that going for you, buddy? How's that going for you?
I don't think he's going to keep doing. I don't think this is going to be a regular.
How's he going to keep doing it, man?
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
When Allah tells Muhammad.
By the way, I don't know if we want to note on this, but there's actually there is something to say about Furqan. Actually, like if you go to the commentaries, there is that the main definition, which is like the mainstream view, which is like separating truth from falsehood. But if you go to like Ibn Abbas, for example, like if you go to Ibn Kathir's commentary on chapter 8, verse 29, he says that it could, like, the word Furqan can also mean a rescue or it can mean a victory. So what I'm saying is like
Hijab needs a Furqan. Hijab needs a Furqan.
There you go. Yeah, exactly.
Rescue. Yeah.
So actually, there's a number of meanings that it has. But guess what? Ibn Abbas also said that Al-Furqan is a title for all of the books, the Torah, the Gospel, the Psalms, right? So he's saying it's comprehensive. It's a comprehensive title for all the books, and that's in Tafsir al-Tabari for chapter 2, verse 53. Chapter 2, verse 53 in Tafsir al-Tabari, Ibn Abbas says that Al-Furqan is the title for the Torah, for the Gospel, for the Psalm. So it's all of the books. So whatever you want to say Furqan means, victory, a rescue, or a divider of, or it means all these meanings together. It applies, just like Avery said, it applies to the Torah, it applies to the Gospel, and it applies to the Psalm.
Yep.
So what do you want to ask me now?
Okay, so continuing with the argument, because you said you never said this. You said you never said this. So I'm going to make you say it again.
What's your question? What's your question?
I'm about to give it to you. I'm about to give it to you. I'm about to give it to you. I'm about to give it to you.
Go on. What's your question?
All right. So when Allah tells Muhammad, if you are in doubt about what we have revealed to you, if you're uncertain about the truth about what we revealed to you,
question like 4 or 5 times, right?
Because you keep flip-flopping like Flippiano.
Are you asked this question like 4 or 5 times?
Because you keep saying you said it and you didn't say it. The religion of yes, no, yes, no.
Do you understand? You understand that the Quran is referred to as Muhaymin and Furqan. Okay,
so what?
You can't get away from it.
So what?
Okay, so which means it's the criterion. You said it's the criterion. You understand that the Quran is a criterion over the previous scripture.
Did you just, whoa, where does it say that,
over the previous scripture?
Where, Hijab, you just said, so the Quran is a criterion over the previous scriptures. Where are you getting that, buddy? Where? Show us that. Show us that. Criterion over the previous scriptures. You had Muhaymin. That means guardian. That means guardian, right? Yeah, again, possibly, because your commentators can't even agree. But now, then you said criterion over the previous scriptures. Where are you getting that? And please explain to us how that is not yet like our 50th example of you distorting the scriptures with your speech, which is what Allah condemns Jews and Christians for doing in Surah 3, verse 78. Every single thing, ladies and gentlemen, matter of fact, we need to make a video and go through everything the Quran actually condemns the Jews and Christians for doing with their scriptures and show these guys doing it every single time with the Quran. And they do it. They do all of it. Everything, every time Allah says, you Jews and Christians, this is why you're evil. This is why you're going to hell, because you're doing this with your scriptures. It's never for altering the text. It's always for like distorting it, misrepresenting it, things like that. But that's exactly what these guys do with the Quran. And so if Jews and Christians are going to hell for the way we handle our scriptures, why do you think it's okay to do? I mean, you should have taken that as a warning, right? And been very careful. You're extremely sloppy, like Muhammad on the night of Al-Zul.
And uneducated. But I love what that person said. Like, next time someone flexes, like, oh, 6 degrees, just say, okay, I'm the unlettered Christian. Well, hey, hello, how you doing? I'm the unlettered Christian. I love it because then it's like they're insulting their, like you said, it's insulting their prophet, and then it also makes their humiliation all the more, glory to Jesus, that their downfall, because their arrogance is going to get bursted, pop like a bubble.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
You understand that when Prophet Muhammad saw Umar al-Khattab reading aspects of the Torah, he told them that you have been given something
Now he's running to the Hadith. He's running to the Hadith. He can't deal with the Quran. He's running to the Hadith.
you don't need to read this, which is the Quran.
Say that again.
Wait a minute.
Are you?
That doesn't,
Say that again?
That
You want me to say that one more time?
Yeah, please.
When the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ saw Umar ibn al-Khattab reading aspects of the Torah of the time which were preserved, some aspects were preserved, and he was reading it, he said that you've been given something which replaces this.
Does
So
it?
the point is this: the Prophet ﷺ mentioned, in a hadith, لا تصدقوهم ولا تكذبوهم.
this
You
is
know this
hilarious.
hadith? Do not belie them and do not believe them. About the people of the past. لا تصدقوهم ولا تكذبوهم. Do not believe them and do not belie them. Do you know this hadith in Bukhari?
Yes. So what does he say?
So hold on. There are aspects.
No.
There
Finish
are aspects of these. Let me finish. What
Finish
I'm saying.
the hadith.
لا تصدقوهم ولا تكذبوهم. Let me explain to you.
And no, finish the last line. You're skipping a
Okay, has everyone noticed so far? Every single thing Hijab brings up, right? So in other words, 1094, that's Avery bringing something up. Avery's bringing that up, right? And Hijab's responding. Everything else is Hijab. Hijab brings up Muhaymin. Hijab brings up Furqan. Hijab brings up this hadith. And every single thing Hijab brings up, Avery knows more about it. Avery knows more about it than Hijab.
And by the way, that hadith he brought up about Omar reading portions of the Torah and then Muhammad telling him not to read it, when the scholars discuss that issue, it's in the context of, is it permissible for a Muslim to read the previous books? Is it permissible for a Muslim to read the Torah? Is it permissible for a Muslim to read the Quran, the New Testament, the Injil and the Torah, the Psalms? So that when the scholars of Islam discuss that hadith, it's in the context of whether it's permissible to read those books. It's not in the context of, oh, this proves that they're corrupt. Muhammad never said that it's corrupt. He just was upset that he was reading it, and he said that if Moses was alive, he would be following me. And it's kind of like, you could think of it maybe, I don't know, maybe there's different ways to think about it, but it's like maybe like kind of like in Galatians or something like that. Maybe in that context, like, you're going back. Why are you going back? Like, you're supposed to be following this. So it's like, it could be like that, or it could be, you could interpret it another way. But the point is that just because Muhammad got angry doesn't mean that it's corrupted. That doesn't mean that at all. And that's not how the scholars of Islam discuss that hadith.
And it couldn't possibly mean that given what the Quran says. And so
exactly. So yeah, and so by
Unless,
the way,
of course,
so
the
that
hadith contradicts it, you know.
Yeah, but by the way, that also is interesting because all these Muslims who are studying the Bible, like looking into what the Torah says or looking into what the Injil says, many Muslim scholars have ruled that they're not allowed to do that because of that hadith. They're not allowed to do that. Only the scholars are allowed to, because whatever. That's what they say. So it's just kind of funny how he brought up a hadith that doesn't even point to the direction he's trying to point you guys, trying to point us to.
That's the hadith.
Yes, no, that's not just the hadith, brother. Please don't make me embarrassed.
لا تصدقوهم ولا تكذبوهم.
English.
This is the hadith.
English.
Are you okay?
English.
Are you okay? Oh, English. Do not belie them and do not believe them. You can speak of Israel, Bani Israel,
he didn't finish it.
with no issues.
No, that's not what he says. That's not what he says, Hijab. Okay, let me teach you. He says, I got you.
He's your teacher, boy.
This means do not belie them and do not believe them.
And?
Which means that there's aspects of what's in circulation with the Jews.
Look, this is why this is important, Hijab. He says, I got you. He says, do not believe them nor disbelieve them, but say, we believe in what was revealed to us and what is revealed to you.
Boom.
You just read it, didn't you?
Yeah, guys, everyone who's watching, and again, there are a couple of different ways you can interpret some of this, but the way I'm going to interpret that in light of what the Quran is saying, most people back then are illiterate, like Muhammad, right? Most people back then are illiterate. So the people who could actually read and are saying, and this is true of the people who could, people who eventually have the Quran and so on, and who are talking to people who can't read the Quran for themselves and so on. But also true of the Jews and the Christians. If the people who can read, who are telling other people what to believe and what the book says, those people can misrepresent things, right? And if it's like Jews talking to Christians or Christians talking to Muslims, or a person can misrepresent what their text is saying. And so if Jews or Christians come up to you and say, here's what my book says, don't say, oh, I agree with you, I believe you, but don't say they're lying either. You don't know, because that person could be telling you the truth or that person could be lying. So just say, I believe in what was revealed to you, right? I believe in your scriptures. I don't have to believe what you're saying, because you could be misrepresenting things. And guess what? We should be saying, Muslims should be saying the exact same thing to Mohammed Hijab right now. We believe in what was revealed to us, not necessarily what you're saying. Why? Because you are a compulsive liar and your compulsive lying is combined with complete ignorance. Avery has been more knowledgeable about every single topic you have brought up so far.
By the way, just on what's the logic of that? Is that even possible? Like, to say I don't believe or disbelieve something? Like if something says X is true, you either believe that or you don't believe that. You can't. There's not like a middle ground. It's like you either have active belief that that thing is the case or it's true, or you disbelieve it and it's not true. But you can't say I don't believe or disbelieve, because that is actually it's not believing, right? If you make a claim, right? Am I right on that, or is there something that I'm missing? Like, is that?
Yeah, I mean, logically that would be correct. Trying to use language, right, as logic doesn't necessarily work. So the idea is like, I don't say it's true and I don't say it's false. I just don't know. But you're technically correct, right? That if you say
like you either have active belief in it or not.
Yeah. So it's
right,
like
right. So it's like active belief, affective belief against, or just not having belief one way or the other, I think is what it's intended to say. But I did think it's very interesting that Hijab just refused to finish the Hadith, which means he knows that the rest of the Hadith is damaging.
Or he doesn't know.
He knows exactly.
When he tries to weasel out of it by saying, "Oh, well, that's the Quran. The Hadith is what Muhammad said, but the Quran is what." And then Avery says, "Well, was that in the Hadith?" And he says, "Yeah." He tries to weasel out of it, like it was.
All right, guys. We'll have to go a couple more. We'll just go a couple more minutes, but we've gotten through about half of it. If it's about an hour long, but we'll see.
The point I'm making.
Am I correct?
Says, do not believe them, do not belie them. So the issue is this.
So what are they supposed to say?
Yeah, and tell them that we believed in what was revealed to Abraham and Jacob and Isaac, etc. in the Quran. It's mentioned.
So you're supposed to believe in what they have and what you have, correct? Look, you're caught lying on your own hadith.
Sorry, say again?
You're caught lying and misquoting your own hadith. I had to teach you what your hadith says.
He's your teacher, boy.
What are you talking about, man?
I'm talking about me teaching you, man.
The Quran says, the hadith says that don't belie them and don't believe them, which means that there's something in circulation.
But to say, I believe in what I believe in the scripture that was revealed to you. Not, I believe in little parts of it or something like that. I believe in what was revealed to you. And the Quran over and over again, what you have, what you have, what you have. Surah 2, verse 85. Don't just believe in parts of your book. You have to believe in all of it, or Allah will send you to hell.
And you guys can see clearly why Muslims were begging him to tag in, Warner's buddy, because he was just getting humiliated point for point for point for point. So the chat was just like, I'm not exaggerating. I can show you the screenshots. Maybe we can publish it sometime. But there's like so many people just begging him to bring up, Warner's, tag team buddy.
There is something in circulation from Ahl Kitab, which is you may remain agnostic about.
No.
If the Quran...
No.
So he's trying to...
I believe in what was revealed to you.
Yeah.
He's equating the written text with what they're saying. So he's trying desperately to make that connection so he can be like, look, it's saying don't believe in the text. And it's like, no, that's not what it's saying.
Yeah. Hijab, you are exhibit A on how people can be completely misrepresenting your scriptures, right? And any Muslim who's listening to you going, yes, Muhaymin, this means correct. Or anyone who's doing that is being led astray. And according to the Quran, led to hell by listening to you instead of listening to what Allah says. That's the warning of the Quran. Don't just listen to what people say. You don't know how reliable they are. That person could be telling you 100% truth. That person could be spouting complete idiotic nonsense like Mohammed Hijab.